Card collecting, good stuff. I wish it was still a thing. Back in the day, the Topps baseball cards,
it became a big thing during the pandemic, and now it's kind of dying out again.
Yeah, it's interesting because my knowledge of baseball as like a 6-year-old is probably stronger than present-day baseball, and I literally work in sports media where I just watch baseball all day, but it was just from those baseball cards.
Well, should Giants
I knew every
fans...
roster up and down. Oh, Jeff Cirillo, Colorado Rockies.
Should Giants fans be doing whatever they can to get their hands on Michael Conforto rookie cards right now? That's the news today. Well, 2 pieces of news.
What a segue.
Yeah, thank you. We have news that Farhan yesterday had a Zoom call in the afternoon, including players and Gabe Kapler and coaches and members of the staff. According to reports, he took questions, didn't necessarily answer all the questions, but Farhan took responsibility for what happened. So that's one piece of news. And then we have the news this morning. Giants are signing Michael Conforto, pending a physical, to a 2-year, $36 million deal. That includes an opt-out after the 2023 season. Hey, how'd he do last year? He didn't play last year. He missed all of last year following April shoulder surgery, or ASS as it's known as.
And how did he do in 2021? He hit 232. So you're getting him at his lowest right now. You're buying him at the dip, at the as low as he can go. You're hoping, and the Giants are hoping that he gets back to what he was doing in 17, 18, 19, 20, and that was.
Aren't we all though? Aren't we all hoping we get back to what we did in 17, 18, 19?
Yeah. You're not lying about that one. Was good in 2020 though, in that shortened season. Played in 54 of those. What was it, a 60-game season?
Yes.
That sprint. Played in 54 of them, was healthy, 927 OPS.
In a shortened season.
Season.
Then was terrible and then didn't play.
Yeah.
And that's who you got. All right, Sam Lubman, producer. What do you got for us?
If you're looking for some Michael Conforto rookie cards, you can go online. You can find them for as cheap as 99 cents.
Yes. Wow.
There's one on eBay going for $12,300.
What? That's a little bit of a discrepancy there. How does that happen?
I don't know. I hope it's like made of solid gold, but it does not really look like it's made of solid gold. So I'm not recommending you go out and buy it, but if you feel like it, it's there.
Can the card also wash and dry your clothes? I mean, you said what, $12,000?
$12,300. So I mean, I don't know. Maybe the card could be available for more games than Michael Conforto.
Or maybe the Giants are selling it to cover his salary or something.
One of 2 things. There's different versions of every card now, so that may be a really rare version of his card. Or on eBay, I could sell this pen and I can ask for $15 million if I want. I can say, this pen's $15 million. I ain't going to get it, but of course I can ask for it.
Yeah, you may have a super fan out there that loves Kevin Michael Whitey Gleason, loves listening to the Morning Roast, and would pay some premium dollars for that pen.
What you'd have to put, though, is $15 million or best offer. First
thing I have to say is sell me this pen. What's the stock response when you hear that? Because there's supposed to be a response. It's like, give me a piece of paper.
It's you need this pen. That's a response. Sell me this pen. You need. It's not like this pen's really good, because that's Wolf of Wall Street, right?
Yeah.
Sell me this pen. You need this pen. That's how you start.
Okay. Well, there's supposed to be a stock answer, I think, to where you say, "Hey, you want this person's number?" I don't know what it is. Digging myself into holes. Like Stanley Yelnats.
Michael Conforto's signing going to make Giants fans feel any better in any which way?
It should.
About this week.
It should, because it's better than nothing.
888-957-9570. Does the signing of Michael Conforto today, well, again, it's an agreement. According to ESPN, it is a signing, but they do have to do the physical. To make you in any way feel any better about this Giants week.
It's better than nothing. He's coming off a year where he had the entire season to rehab and get healthy, and he has had some successful seasons. He's only 29 years old. He hasn't. It's not like you're signing a 34-year-old that's been out of the league for a couple of years. He may still have some pop in that bat. I mentioned 17, 18, 19 long time ago, but 27, 28, 33 home runs, 260 hitter, give or take. If you can get the production that you got last season from Jock Peterson, and now you have Michael Conforto, let's say he's doing the same thing as Jock Peterson numbers-wise, and you add him to the mix, it's definitely better than nothing. That's the positive spin. But the negative spin is, what in the hell just happened with Carlos Correa? We still don't have any answers. You had the cornerstone, so you thought. Now, I from the get-go thought out of all the superstars you can have in baseball, Carlos Correa is at the very bottom to where he teeters on star and superstar.
Really?
Do you agree with that?
No, I don't. And I know you're not the
say
only one who says
superstar?
that. He's really good. Yeah. I mean, you look at OPS. You're an OPS guy, OPS plus, and
He's
plus what he does
consistently 900,
defensively.
yeah.
He's so anyway, I know a lot of people feel that way. Maybe to a degree the Giants felt that way in terms of his overall appeal, Q factor, and all that. I think he's a phenomenal player.
I think it's just due to the fact that he was on such a loaded team that with Bregman and with Altuve, he was never the clear-cut number one guy. But if he came to San Francisco, it's clear who the top dog is. It's the one making $350 million. Instead, he makes $315 in New York and has a 12-year deal, which is ridiculous that people are signing players into their 40s knowing that they're probably going to be washed by 36.
I think the problem is this, and I'm presuming how some Giants fans feel here. So if I'm wrong, let us know, 888-957-9570. You've mentioned a number of times, Charlie, expertly I may add, that, hey, it was just not that long ago the Giants won 107. But when the Giants won 107, fans felt, from what I can tell, talking to fans and listening to fans, a lot of them felt like, wow, this is great. We're ahead of schedule. We weren't supposed to be this good this fast. And now we've got all the young players that'll be developed. We've got money now because we know the Giants make a lot of money. So we're ahead of the Dodgers before we're supposed to be. So you spend more money and you develop young players. There's no stopping the Giants.
Ballpark is paid off.
Yes.
You've already won 107. Farm system's on its way up.
Yes.
You got Farm Han.
Yes.
Everything is alive and well.
Yes.
And then it was, let's slash payroll. Let's have a pretty mediocre season. Honestly, a season that was worse than the record.
Right. And then so it was a really interesting reaction from Giants fans last year, middle of the year before the season was even over. You could tell the Giants were mad because they felt duped. Like, wait, 107, you're supposed to build on that instead of cut payroll. So you had that. And then you had last year, 81 and 81. And then it's like, all right, well, now what are you going to do? You better get Aaron Judge. And they did everything they could, as far as we know, to get Aaron Judge. I know some people like Guru will say, well, they should have spent more money. I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. I think they made a very fair offer. They didn't get him. So then what? Oh, you get Correa. Oh, wait, now it looks like they decided they didn't really want him. And you get Michael Conforto. Nothing against Michael Conforto. But a lot of Giants fans right now look at this and say, the Giants are the A's in a prettier box. That's all they are. And that's not what Giants fans want.
Yeah, but at the same time, pull up the payroll for me. They spent like 6 times more money than the Oakland A's did this offseason. So,
well, I know.
So if we're getting down to the facts.
But if we're going to compare them to the A's payroll, I mean, the thing is they cut payroll after they won 107, and the teams that you want to compete with in the National League, presumably,
well, that's the problem.
Phillies,
Everyone
Padres,
is
Mets.
spending so much money, especially in your state
That's
and in
what it
your
costs.
division. It does. It costs money, and it costs these ridiculous contracts. Going out and getting Carlos Correa, knowing that into this 13-year deal, the last 5 years is probably what the Angels were getting from Pujols, where you're not getting a ton of production, or the Angels are shelling out all this money for Josh Hamilton when he's already in his 30s, and you know that his career is probably going to be shortened because of things that he did off the field. And this sort of thing, you have to go in knowing that you are overpaying for these players in this age and time.
Yes.
The Dodgers had no issues whatsoever going out and spending all that money on Trevor Bauer, and they're planning on releasing Trevor Bauer soon. And guess what? They spent the money. They were able to say, you know what? We made a mistake. We're going to go out and spend more money. They're probably going to go out and spend money, or at least try to spend money on Ohtani next year. And the Giants were finally willing to spend money, and then they weren't. And my question is, what all went down? When they were willing to sign Carlos Correa, who there was hesitant? Because someone there said, let's go get steak and lobster. And another person said, are you sure? We just spent a whole lot of money. Maybe we should hit up Hardee's.
Charlie, we can't
Carl's
tell
Jr.,
you.
excuse me.
We can't tell you because, HIPAA laws. We can't speak to that.
Yeah.
See, they're hiding behind that. At least it appears they are.
They're
You're
hiding
right.
behind the holidays. Hey, happy holidays,
Yeah.
everyone. Here's Michael Conforto. Forget about this. See you in the new year. Go Niners.
Yeah. When Farhan said, did he not, this offseason, we're going to spend a lot of money. We will pursue every avenue. We are willing to spend money, right? He said that, right? And then wait, you didn't do that. So and I know everyone's been saying this, but I wonder the extent of the damage here because that goodwill has been busted, has been broken. And I don't know, Michael Conforto, nothing against him, but signing him ain't going to repair it. Yes, Sam, what do you got?
We have another Giants signing.
There we go.
So, according to Ken Rosenthal, the Rogers twins are reuniting in San Francisco. Left-handed reliever Taylor Rogers is in agreement with the Giants on a 3-year, $33 million contract pending the physical.
All right. Thank you, Sam. So the Giants are trying to dazzle us with a quantity of stars, including a feel-good story for Christmas. Oh, yeah, the Korea thing didn't work out. Oh, we got the brothers together again.
We got the brothers. Let's welcome in the other Rogers that had a 4.76 ERA in 2022, and
he did struggle this year as a closer for the Padres, and they traded him for Josh Hader.
Both Rogers struggled mightily last year, to say the least, but was an all-star in 2021. You needed help in that bullpen. That's
with the Twins, right? That's when he was with the Twins?
Yes.
Yeah.
People get lost on the fact that because everyone talks about the bats and the lineup needed some bolstering, and it did. Don't get me wrong. But if you watched a lot of Giants baseball last year, there was a clear, glaring weakness, and it was when those bullpen doors swung open. I'm doing the sign of the cross right now because it was, pray for me. It got ugly at times. So, hey, you got to go out there and got to get an arm.
Are you trying to sell us on this move, too?
He's an all-star in 2021. I'm not trying to sell you on anything.
That Charlie
I'm just saying
is wired and getting instructions from Farhan on what to say about these moves.
Who do you want to go out? And do you want to sulk on Carlos Correa for the next 2 years and just give up on the entire season?
You know what? I'll tell you what. I don't think I want Taylor Rogers, period. I mean, the way he pitched last year, it doesn't fill me with a lot of confidence. I know 2021 was great. Last year, he couldn't hold the closer's job in San Diego.
That's the thing. It is clear right now that the Giants have a type. Everyone out there has a type. Some have types. The Giants have a type, and that is bargain hunting. They like walking into the Goodwill. They don't even like, they don't even like the stuff off the rack. They go straight back to the clearance bin. And they're going through the rummage sale right now.
And they don't have to do that, Charlie, because they have the money. They're not a small market team.
They're not?
Yeah.
They're not. You're right. And they treat it like they are.
Yeah.
But they're not the A's. If people are trying to make that comparison, they've spent a lot lot more this offseason.
No, they have. My point is not, but it's the A's also bargain hunting because, smaller market, they've decided, well, going back to Moneyball, we don't have a lot we're going to exploit market inefficiencies. And then you had, as I've said this before, you had teams like the Cubs and the Red Sox who did both. We will spend money and exploit market inefficiencies. We will spend money and do all of that and then look out, we'll win World Series, historic World Series. And the Giants are going the other way. We have the money, but we're still going to go for the bargains.
You get Michael Conforto, someone that didn't play last year. And then Farhan's, like you said, he's wired into my ear right now. He's listening. He's like, they're not happy. He said the text line's not happy. Let's give him a feel-good story. How about Taylor Rogers? Let's reunite him.
Really?
At FanFest, that'll get the fans going. It's a great feel-good feature right there until Rogers goes out there with another 4.5 ERA. And if people didn't see enough of Tyler Rogers last year, now you get to see Taylor, you get to see them both in action blowing saves.
What were his numbers? I assume you have them up there. I apologize. But his numbers once he went to the Brewers. Do you have them up there? How did he pitch with Milwaukee? Because he couldn't hold the job as a closer with the Padres. He was playing for something.
He had the 4.35 ERA with San Diego. It ballooned up to 5.4 with Milwaukee. So a change of scenery didn't do him any good.
Goodness. Yeah.
But hey, maybe
I like the guy.
He misses his brother.
Story, but
he misses his brother. He just wants to get back.
I mean, maybe the Giants probably see something. Oh no, we can fix this or fix that. But wow, no Correa. But you got Conforto who didn't play, and you got Taylor Rogers, who got destroyed last year.
So tell me this hypothetical situation: the Giants.
This is terrible. This is getting worse.
It is, but the Giants go out there and they win some games this year, and they make the playoffs. Are we still talking fraud? Or are we going to give the front office some credit for bargain hunting and maybe pulling out some players that other people have given up on?
Don't you think?
Time will heal all wounds if they can win some baseball games, or there will still be a large percentage of the fan base out there that's upset about Correa, even if they're winning games, because people weren't fully satisfied when they won 107.
I think it depends if they kind of sneak in backdoor, wild card, and then they get bounced. I don't think people are going to be happy just because, well, here's the problem. First, let's talk to Goose and Tracy. Then I'll tell you what the real problem here is about the way the Giants have reacted to the Correa situation. Goose, you're on the morning roast. Whitey and Charlie, what's up? Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, guys. Good morning.
Thank you.
I started laughing when I heard about that they just signed. What's his name that they just signed from the Mets?
Michael Conforto.
Yeah. So he was out the entire year with surgery, shoulder surgery, and they signed him. But they were so concerned about something that happened to Correa 14 years ago. Man, that's just like putting eggs in their face. Like, come on, you guys, are you serious? I mean, can it get any worse than that?
First, thank you, Goose. That's one thing. It can always get worse in anything. Never say, oh, can't get any worse, because no matter what, it can always get worse. But I understand your point. And here's the problem, as I see it, Charlie. That so many Giants fans now are still reacting. They're still trying to figure out how they feel about the Correa situation. That's why it's so important for the Giants to come out at some point and start to explain and try to explain. Because the longer you wait, the more those emotions get hardwired into your brain. It's like if you do something wrong and you want to apologize to somebody or explain, you want to do it as soon as you can, right? If they think that, we'll sign a few guys and everything will be fine and maybe we'll address this spring training, people's feelings about this are going to be so hardwired that they're not going to change them.
And what they're giving the sports media and the radio talking heads more ammo right now.
Yeah.
Because we can just assume and we can guess and we can say, hey, they were in this hotel. Carlos Correa is there ready for his press conference. And the Giants literally within 3 hours of the press conference backed out, got cold feet, didn't want to spend the money, didn't have the money to spend. That's the thing. They had the money to spend. It was something, a deeper dive into the analytics along with his
sixth grade paper cut,
his x-rays. I don't know what it is.
Paper cut sixth grade, but a really bad one, as Craig and I have discussed. It needs stitches, but a big Band-Aid.
Yeah, I mean, Michael Conforto is a lot more of a bargain than Carlos Correa when it comes to, yes, he has the injury history, but at the same time, Carlos Correa has been fine for a long time in this league and is still young. He still hasn't hit that. He's 28 right now? He's 28 years old, would be entering his 29th year of life next season.
Looks good on a cable car, too.
It looks good on a cable car. And I'm pretty sure the Giants could have squeezed at least half. 6.5 years would be my over-under of Carlos Correa playing at all-star level. I'd even go as high as 7.5, 8.5 years of that 13-year deal. That's not bad.
What threw me was the whole part about, he's in the hotel room with the family and he's got, the in-laws looking at him. You think about that. You got her dad staring at you going, told you never was going to make it
I know,
to be anything.
that's the worst. You're
He's
right.
Just shaking his head
the
at
whole
you
in-law
like,
thing.
you married this guy. He's a loser. Look at this.
Yeah.
And he's getting, ever since 12th grade, this is what happened to him. Told you you'd never make it to anything.
Yeah.
That's just wrong for a guy, man.
You know what, Craig? It's like Dustin Johnson married to Gretzky's daughter. And, as great as he is, they go over to the in-laws' house and Gretzky's got MVPs and Stanley Cups. Yeah. You won the Hager Slacks Open. That's cute.
You won the John Deere Classic. Great job.
I mean, I know he's a really good
congrats
golfer,
on the
but you're
Barbasol
right.
championship.
Yeah, you're right. The in-laws thing is the worst thing about it. 888-957-9570. Jessica's in Sacramento on 95.7 The Game. Jessica, Conforto and Rogers are Giants. What do you make of that?
Oh, Conforto, I gotta say, and Rogers just feels like consolation at this point. And I've been a fan for 32 years, which I feel like I've spent so much money at the park. I've spent a lot of money as a fan, and this is what we get. And it's like you guys were saying earlier, is that apparently this is just what our organization is. And I guess I have to accept that. But it's just been a really frustrating couple of days as a fan. And I wish that the front office would talk to us.
Thank you. I know. That's it. It's like, hello, we need some help here, obviously. And this wasn't your guys' fault, but everything that happened with, Arson Judge, that kind of hurt. And okay, that wasn't your fault, but you got to understand how we feel about that. And then this, and then you. Nothing except
Silent night.
We got Michael Conforto and Taylor Rogers. It's kind of insulting.
The Giants need the season to start worse than anyone, and it's not close to starting. That's the problem. I mean, pitchers and catchers report semi-soon. We got a long way until this season begins, and no signing that they make. I don't care if there's a third Rod. I don't care if the Rogers are triplets that I don't know about, and they bring in the other Rogers. They bring in John Rogers to make a three-headed monster of Rogers. They got Conforto to the mix. Hell, they can go out there and trade for a David Bodie. Go out trade for you don't even know who David Bodie is. They can go out and keep
Cubs
adding
guy.
these. Yeah, they can go out and keep adding
David
these.
Bodie is.
They can go out and keep adding these decent players to the roster, but it's not going to change anything until there are some answers. And quite frankly, I think there are a reason why there are no answers.
Because they're bad
no
answers.
good answers.
You're exactly
they
right.
screwed up.
Yeah.
They screwed up. Someone went rogue, or they all had this meeting, and someone went in there with cold feet, wasn't sure about it. 3 people were given handshakes, and a 4th person that controlled the money said,
Gotta keep our composure.
I don't know, folks. I don't know if we should be doing that. Then morning of, he woke up and said, we've made a grave mistake. We have to fix this.
What do you think of the theory?
When in reality, it's monopoly money for these guys, and it's just do it.
Damon talked about this yesterday. I don't know if this is his theory, as far as I know it was, but everyone's talking about a lot of things. And again, some of this may be, it's very speculative, but in the absence of an explanation, you can't blame us. But I think Damon was saying yesterday with Ray, and they're very funny. Ray's very funny. Ray, by the way, has been telling me for months, Giants aren't going to spend the money. And I've been trying to tell him, no, they're going to. They said they are. And he's been saying, they're not going to spend the money. You'll see. So I had to tell him a couple of days ago, I think you were right. Yes, OB. But Damon's saying, look, the Giants, they sign Correa. They come to agreement, come to terms. And then they realize no one's getting as excited about this as we thought they would. That's not good, because we thought we were going to make a lot of money on this. We're spending a ton of money on this. Maybe we shouldn't do this. Do we have any way to back out of this deal? Again, as terrible as that is, that's what it looks like, and that's why they have to address it. Well, that's amateur. That's Harry high school stuff.
Everything can't be relative to Aaron Judge. You just landed, even if he is a star and not a superstar, which you're saying he's a superstar and he's played like it for a long time.
Yeah.
He's won a World Series. He's been the man in Minnesota. He's been
The Dodgers hate him.
Dodgers hate him.
For
been
him.
one of the most consistent players in the league, and you had him. He said he was coming here, and you broke up with him, and the question is why? You brought that on yourself. So I find it hard to believe. I know Farhan says I take full blame here. I think he's scapegoating.
I tend to agree with you.
I think he's scapegoating because I think he went out there and someone wanted Carlos Correa here. They didn't.
Well,
there weren't 4 people in a room that said, maybe we go with Carlos Correa here. I think someone very much wanted Carlos Correa and someone did not want Carlos Correa. And in the moment it worked out, and as time passed and as the day came, it's like in Love is Blind, the TV show on Netflix, if you've seen it, they fall in love, they get to the altar, they've known each other for like a week, and then sitting at the altar, they say, what the hell kind of a mistake have I made? I don't even know what this person's sister's name.
Right.
I don't even know what this person's favorite color is. I don't even know what this person likes to eat because they've been living in a frickin' pod for the last month. Now, if you don't understand
you
the
just
reference,
finished season 3 is what you're telling us.
that's applicable for any season.
Yeah, very brilliant analogy. I agree with you on Farhan, though, because my guess is that if this was coming from Farhan, he would have made his point and prevented any of this from happening. If Farhan had concerns about that, they would have surfaced, because he's been in front offices for a while. He understands how this works and how it makes him look. I think if it was Farhan, it never would have gotten to that point. Maybe I'm wrong.
Did he just think that by them releasing this or by Correa signing with the Mets at midnight right before the holidays that maybe people would forget, I got the
That's
weekend
what they're
off.
hoping, but
It's a
obviously that's
long
not going to
week.
happen.
Yeah, it hasn't worked.
Yeah.
It's we'll be talking about it on Christmas Day. I don't know who's doing the Christmas show, but I can guarantee you that'll probably be the lead.
If that'll be a big day of Warriors basketball here on 95.7 The Game. Christmas.
That as well.
Warriors taking
Grizzlies.
out the Memphis Grizzlies. Yeah. If I were Farhan and that happened this way, where I'm like, okay, we got this. Wait, what? And again, we don't know if that's what happened. Who doesn't want us to do this? What? I mean, you don't have to think about resigning, because just think how that reflects on you.
Yeah,
And your future. anytime you're dealing with a free agent in the future.
And now we're talking post Carlos Correa fallout. We're talking AAC after Correa.
AAC,
and they
okay.
make the two signs. And first of all is Michael Conforto, which I'm on board with. I haven't seen the full details of the contract, but assuming you got him at a bargain because he didn't play for last year, I'm all for that. But
I can tell you what those are, by the way. I don't mean to interrupt, but just
you got
so you
it.
know,
Give it to me.
2 years, $36 million, and I believe there's an opt-out in there somewhere. 2 years, $36 million.
Is it just me, or is that a lot of money for a guy that didn't play last year?
Yeah, there's an opt-out after the 2023 season.
Okay,
he wants to come here and then hit the ball so skillfully that he can sign somewhere else for more money.
Yeah, no, what's going to happen there is he's going to be a 275 hitter, 21 home runs at the All-Star break. The Giants are going to be 10 games below, and he's going to be great trade bait to get that farm system up, is what's going to happen there with that 2-year deal. But Taylor Rogers made $7.3 million last year is what we're seeing. And after that 5 ERA last year, in two different spots. He looked terrible in San Diego. He looked putrid in Milwaukee. The Giants are giving a middle reliever $11 million. I know that you needed an arm bat in that bullpen. And I know that the casual baseball fan, that there aren't many middle relievers that you can bring in that are going to sell the press release. But are they literally trying to sell the fact that they're going to have the twin assassins on the mound? Hey, Taylor, you're going to pass the ball off to Tyler. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, right?
Taylor's going to give up a 3-run homer, and Tyler's going to follow it up with a solo shot as he whizzes in that 76-mile-per-hour Frisbee.
I don't mind the amount of money they're spending on these guys, and I agree with you. I mean, it's not hard to argue that, well, these guys make you at least incrementally better, but it's just a matter of no. You can't keep up with everybody else that we want you to keep up with if that's who you're signing. 888-957-9570. John in Benicia, California. John, are you feeling any better about the Correa situation now that you have Conforto and Rogers?
I got to tell you, I'll be completely transparent. I'm completely thrilled being a Dodger fan. But I mean, the thing is I think what happened was they took a step back. They looked at what San Diego did. They saw that the Dodgers lost the Turner brothers and probably are not going to miss a beat. And they said, wow, $300 million to come in third place. What are we doing? I mean, and I really think that that's kind of what they said. And they, we can try and sell tickets, but, if we're 20 games behind at the All-Star break, still no one's going to show up. I think that was the logic behind them pulling out.
You may be right, John. That makes sense. But if that is the case, they obviously underestimated the amount of damage that decision would do to the trust that they had established with the fan base.
Well, here's the thing. When you're signing someone to a 13-year deal, you can't think about the short term. You got to think about the long. That's the cornerstone.
Do you? But that's kind of the way the baseball deals work now. It's like, yeah, we got this guy for 10, but he ain't going to be here that long. We will want to get, we want to get the benefits of the early years. I don't know. I understand your point, but I do think that the big spenders, they don't worry so much about the back end. It's like, we'll deal with that when we deal with it because they can afford to.
Well, if it wasn't clear yet, I think it's clear. The Giants aren't big spenders.
Right.
They're just not. And they're not even up there with Philly. Philly's willing to shell out the cash. Yes. They're not up there with San Diego. And why not? That's the question, because we're in a very rich region. The ballpark's paid off. The crab sandwiches are very expensive. I don't know if you've taken the family down to the ballpark lately, but you get a couple crab sandwiches and a sud for Papa, you're paying about $50 there.